Do I just pull it?
Yep.
Oh God! No, that's actually you completely something.
Wait, you pushed the button.
You pushed the channel button.
You pushed the search button. You go get it.
The 800Ds are arguably the most popular budget FPV goggle on the market today. You've heard about their new version, the 800DMs, and you're wondering if they're going to be as good and are they an upgrade? Well, stay tuned because this video is for you. G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, what we're going to be checking out, you've seen the Eachine 800Ds. These are the latest ones, the 800DMs, and we're going to find out if they're a bit of an upgrade. What we're going to do, we're going to stick them on the bench, break them down, look at the text and the specs, and the Eachine, these ones are really going after first-time pilots coming into the hobby. A budget pair of goggles to get people flying. It offers a lot of features, so we're going to go through the text and the specs, find out what makes them work, all that sort of stuff. Then we go out to the field, and most importantly, I'll fly them around. I'll show you some DVR that these things are doing. I'll also hand them over to, I think Jono's going to be out there as well. Some other pilots will get their impressions, because when it comes to FPV, and FPV goggles specifically, everybody's got different faces, different preferences, and I think it's really important to get those other pilots' opinions on here. So hopefully we can find out, are these goggles going to be right for you, or if more so, are they going to be an upgrade to the original 800Ds, the things we like, the things we don't like, and pretty much, you know, how these goggles actually go, and has Eachine taken a step in the right direction. So first things first, as an overview, let's stick it on my little scales here. They're coming in, if I put this in here with the antennas on, coming in at 344 grams. And I should also mention it has a big 2S battery already built in here, so that's nice. And when we put it on our face, it actually is relatively comfortable. So even though with that weight, look, it's not as light as like some Sky Zones or Onways or anything like that, but for a budget pair of goggles on your face, I don't think it's as uncomfortable as some of the other ones I've had in the past. Some of the special features about this, you can see it's got a telescopic sort of lens here, so you can slide this thing in and out, which I think is probably one of the most important features of this goggle, because sometimes if a lens is too close to your face, it can really give you a bit of eye strain, and it makes FPV really not very enjoyable. If you can stress it, you know, young people might be fine, but if you're like me, or maybe some older gentlemen or lasses out there, you might get a little bit of eye strain. The longer focal distance we can have, the better. Fixed up 40 channels. It's a 4x3 screen, which is a definite difference to the original 800Ds, because they were a 16x9. And something else as well, the resolution in this one is a little bit higher. It's on the box actually, it's 900x600, but the screen is also a little bit smaller. So it must say it on here, I think it's 4 inches. I'll put it on the screen anyway, but in my research, I think it's only a 4-inch screen in here, where you used to have a 5-inch on the Eachine 800Ds. So they've gone higher in the resolution, but they've gone to a 4x3 screen, and it's also a little bit smaller, which is kind of confusing when it comes to our box goggles. Now also, the battery's built in. You do get some little extras. You get these 2 antennas, but I would recommend upgrading those. I'll put some antenna links down below. It charges by a little USB, which I really do like. You've got an AV out port, which is this is hard to, I'm going to take these antennas off. It just makes my job on the bench a bit easier. Here we go. So you've got your little charging port right here. Here's where you put your SD card in. I do wish that was on the top, so you could, I guess it wouldn't fall out or anything like that. Our little AV in port if you want to hook up to a ground station here, so we can record some DVR. We can search through, we can search right here, and also we can go into our menu, our on-off switch, and here you can change your channels and your band. So overall, the feature of the goggles are doing everything we want. I should say it's got a really nice sort of matte finish on here. It definitely doesn't feel cheap, which is surprising, because most of the time Eachine tends to make a bit more cheaper goggle. We're going to turn it on, hold down the button right there, and you can see hopefully that's in shot. Ready to find a drone to plug in, bear with me. Alright, so let's test the search function. I think we just press it once. Searching, it's going through, oh, it's already on one of the channels. Alright, there we go. So I don't know how much this is coming in, but you can see it's definitely got a very nice clear picture in here, and on first impressions on my face, it's very easy to focus on. So it's got a little Fresnel lens in the front just here, and yeah, it's not too bad. If I have it fully extended, I feel a little bit more cross-eyed, so definitely for me, on my face, that's I'm going to have mine extended all the way. But this is it on the bench, I guess. What we really need to do now is go out to the field, fly it around and find out how these goggles actually go. How does the reception work? Inside these two little internals, there actually is diversity in here. So there's two different little receiver modules, which is great. And I guess on the bench, first impressions, the screen definitely feels smaller than the 800Ds. You can see that right there, and 4x3. So a lot of people, when they like box goggles, they want a big field of view. These ones, it's interesting. The resolution's higher, but I don't know why they've kind of gone down in screen size. But what we should do now, that's it on the bench. That's kind of the boring stuff. That's the box goggle. Let's go have some fun, fly it around in the field, find out how does it actually perform, what's it like flying and when it's on your face, all that sort of stuff. Show you some DVR, give a bit of an overview, and also talk to some of the other pilots out there, get them to try it on and give you the right info to let you know, is this a good pair of goggles? Is this one you should be getting? Is it worth? Is it definitely an upgrade from the original 800Ds? All that sort of stuff. So let's go have some fun in the field in 3, 2, 1.
Are you joking me? My pants are way better. Look at that.
They're some of them. Radio out here in the field, doing it with the Eachine ev800DMs. What a name. We're with the boys. We're going to find out what we think in terms of these cheap box goggles. Are they an upgrade for the original 800Ds? And yeah, let's just find out what Granger, Jono, and Tony all think, and myself, give you some impressions and should you get these. All right, let's do it. You're up first, are you, Tony?
I think so. It's going to get in before they get smoked.
I'm going to start some DVR.
All right.
Can you start some DVR in there for me too?
How do you do that?
I think
you press the button. Is it that one?
This one. Tell me what's happening on the screen.
Oh, hang on. I've just moved.
Yeah, that's the search and menus.
No.
Oh, is it this one? Let me just randomly push some random button.
Yeah, you do it. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can see some. I've got to focus on it. Yeah, that's my channel, I think.
You can also bring this in and out.
Oh, how do I do that? Show me how this works, Stuart. Oh, that's much better.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's heaps better.
You can see now?
I can see clearly.
Is it on your channel?
Yeah, it appears to be.
Well, yeah,
R7. I can't see what channel.
Buddy, hold this.
Do it for me. Is that R7?
No, that's C5.
Close enough.
Go to C4.
There we go. It's not hard at all to change that.
It is if you're blind.
Now look, one thing I'm going to say, I'm noticing straight away, we're getting your the OSD is getting cut off.
Ah,
I get that on my goggles as well.
Do you?
Yep. Yeah. Hold on.
On Tony's?
Yep.
It
Okay.
just depends on the goggles.
All right. That's probably a NTSC PAL issue, I'd say.
So I would absolutely say that.
Is yours getting cut off in your sky zones?
Yeah, it's missing just the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe it's not
I'm
these.
16 by 9.
Yeah.
So, Tony, you're going first. The DVR's going.
All right. Let's give her a go.
These are about 80 bucks.
Right. Well, my first comment is the video is it's very blurry. Like the resolution of the screen on these goggles is very low.
Oh, it's actually pretty high, apparently, but yep.
Well,
on the spreadsheet.
Well, hang on. So
I think it's 900 by 600 or something.
So for me, I'm quite long-sighted, and it appears to me as if I'm finding it quite hard to focus, and we've got the screen pushed out as far as possible, but it does seem very blurry to me.
Yep.
And again, that might just be my eyesight.
Well, we'll test it and find out.
It may be the goggles, but it just seems quite quite blurry. And it's a 4x3, and I'm running a 16:9 camera, so it kind of compresses it all up a bit.
And you've got you're getting your OSD cut off, right?
And the OSD is being cut off at the bottom.
Jono, now you're watching on your sky zones, but you're still getting OSD cut off?
Yeah, OSD.
Did you get it on Tony's?
No, Fat Shark's have got the OSD in there, so it's just PAL, NTSC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Switching thing.
4x3.
But look,
16 by 9, whatever it is,
I don't think these goggles are designed to be a goggle for someone who's been flying for a while. This is probably something to get you into the sport, and I think for that perspective, this is a good set of intro goggles to really let you know, do I want to invest my money into buying some Fat Sharks or some different type of goggles. But for me, having had a set of Fat Sharks now for a few years, I couldn't go back to something like this. Great to give you a flavour of what FPV's like, but if you're going to get seriously into it, I don't think you'd be holding on to these for very long.
All right, how's the reception?
Do you know what? It's not been too bad. I've only got a dipole antenna on this particular quad. I'm around the far tree, and yeah, no dramas at all. So plenty of good reception. It's got a couple of good antennas. There's a patch feed on there. and a circular polarized.
Are these your favourite? These are $80. If you had $80 to spend, would you buy these or would you buy something else?
I would actually buy the ones with the big reflector mirror.
The Nun goggles.
The Nun goggles. They were really good.
Yep. The Hawkeye VR. There'll be a link somewhere.
So for me, they just felt like the best pair of box style goggles. They looked like a real gimmick at first, but they actually performed excellently. So for me, the Nuns were the winner.
All right. What do you think about the telescopic lens he can extend it in and out?
That really made a difference for me. Like when they were in close up, I really struggled to...
I'm going to push it in. Can you hold this camera for me, Granger?
Let me just...
You come and hover. I want to see if you can fly if I do this. You ready?
Go. Oh, it just goes super... it's like
Are you hurting your eyes?
It's like someone's taking my contact lenses out.
Are you getting eye strain?
I'm going to crash into your backside. There you go. Man, that's terrible. I can't fly like that.
Okay, so you got to extend yours.
Yeah, in fact, mine could probably even go a bit further. So if you're... it might just be a script thing. I just
I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a go.
Give them a go. You can fly this one.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to stop your DVR though. All right. Do we need a new pack?
How what's it say? Can you see? It's probably...
My turn. First things first, on my face. They do feel, I'm going to say, 6, 7 out of 10 in terms of comfort. Definitely I can feel them pressing on my cheeks just a little bit, especially when they're extended further. If they're closer up, it is more comfortable. There's less weight on the end, but it's hurting my eyes that much. So let me just extend these. I don't really like the 4x3 picture as much. Where's the drone? We clear?
Yep, go for it.
All right. Here we go. Let's see if we can break Tony's drone. All right. The colors look nice. I'm not really getting too much light leakage. I'm not getting distracted by anything. I wonder how my pilot skills are going to hold up. I actually thought it would be a bit trickier to fly this thing around. It's not, look, I'm going to say it's not terrible, but is that a vote of confidence and something, the best way to describe a goggle if it's not terrible? I do prefer the Nun goggles, but I think if you were starting and somebody handed you a pair like this, I wouldn't complain anyway. I've definitely flown a lot worse than this. It's just not my favorite. Doing a few flips and rolls here. It'll be interesting to find out how the DVR comes out. And Tony, is this a 16:9 camera in this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is, I feel like it is compressing the image just a little bit. I don't mind the resolution actually. I don't think it's as clear as some OLEDs or anything like that, but at the end of the day, you're paying $80 for a pair of FPV goggles, and if you like this telescopic kind of style and you don't want to get, you don't like, maybe feel too silly with the Nun goggles, I definitely think you could be a lot worse off than flying a pair of these around. They remind me a little bit of the Kylan or the Krillin goggles that we had a few years ago, but just a little bit better.
How's the focus? Like,
yeah, it's actually fine. I'm not getting any eye strain when it's fully extended like this. When it was pushed in, I was getting a fair bit, so I definitely need it at the outer, at the limits. I find it easy to focus, and I'm going to say that's going to be the case for most people. Anyway, so the final question, is this an upgrade over the Eachine 800Ds, the old school version? Well, some ways yes, some ways no. I don't really feel like there's, if you've already got a pair of these, I wouldn't be buying this. If you've already got a pair of the original 800s, I wouldn't be buying this anytime soon anyway. Look, for me, not terrible, but also not, you know, nothing mind-blowing. I do prefer the Nun goggles. I'm gonna come in and disarm on Tony's dodgy radio. I've got ants on me. Yeah, I guess final impressions. Okay, they weren't too comfortable. Do I have any marks on my face? Can you see any?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's probably the one part, but I felt a lot worse. So I'm going to say comfort, 6 out of 10. Maybe if you're flying them around the whole day, you'd feel it, but yeah, overall, just an average cheap pair of goggles. Some people might like them, some people it's not for them. All right, let's hand over to the other boys. So we're about to fly around.
Yeah.
Well, first impressions first. What do you think about box goggles? What do you fly? All that sort of stuff.
Look, I'm not a huge fan of the box goggles because I like, you know, the Fat Sharks and the Always, they're definitely better, but I do like the fact that, you know,
what did you start with?
I started with Eachine Goggle 2, Eachine Box Goggle 2, whatever that is.
All right, yep.
Look, they're good to get into. They, like, you know, you get the feel. But if you're actually going to really get into it, I suggest just going straight for, you know, not the most expensive, but maybe cheap on ways or something.
They were $178 just the other day.
Well, there you go. So, but yeah, no, they're not too bad, but they're not, definitely not as good as the Fat Shark style goggles.
Maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe these will be the best goggles you've
ever
had.
Maybe they're the best ever. Yeah, no,
Yep.
they're not.
Now, can you see the whole OSD when you pull that one down based on that?
Yeah,
goggle?
I can see the whole.
Yeah,
OSD.
different quad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking full cross-eyed.
Do you want me to extend them
yeah,
for
can
you?
you pull them out?
You hold the base.
Alright.
There you go.
Oh.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit, but alright.
You see all the OSD on that one?
Yeah.
2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh my god, I just feel really with box goggles. There's something about them. I really feel disconnected from the sticks, like I'm not in control. But that's just probably because I'm not used to it. I can definitely feel the weight on my head when they're, as Stu was saying before. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable in the world. In terms of reception, I'll come out the back.
Actually, that's something I don't think I mentioned.
The reception's actually pretty good. It's not bad. It's not the best in the world, but for box goggles, they're actually pretty good. The picture looks a bit dull, and definitely no OLED, but you know that could be have something to do with the camera as well on the drone.
Do you like 4x3 or would you prefer these 16x9 or what's the story?
I fly 4x3. I'm used to 4x3. I don't particularly like 16x9. That's just personal preference. But I feel like box goggles tend to be better when they're 16:9 because you know it fills up more of the screen.
Yeah, you feel like it's kind of wasted on the outside.
I feel like it's lots of wasted space. But look, they're not the worst box goggles you've ever given me, but they're not the best. So
Okay,
I still reckon the Eachine Goggle 2, like the OG one, the old one, is good. I still reckon they're great.
Yeah, I think they were beautiful. I'm surprised more people didn't use them.
Yeah, they just felt really smooth. They feel pretty light, and comfortable. So, yeah, definitely not the worst goggles out there. I wouldn't personally, you know, as Stu said, upgrade if you had the older version. But if you're getting into this, getting into the hobby at bare minimum budget, I wouldn't have a problem with these. So, oh! It dropped an arm as I went into the...
What happened? Is that the goggles or your drone?
It's the goggles' fault.
Was it really?
No, just dropped an arm.
We're over there, Tony. Where are you going? Alright, so final thoughts on the Eachine ev800DMs thing, these goggles.
Jesus Christ, their names are crazy. Look, it's not the worst goggles, it's not the best goggles, it's just like a meh sort of thing.
What do you think for 80 bucks?
For 80 bucks USD?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong. If you're getting into the budget, if you're getting into the hobby at bare minimum, I would get these, but I wouldn't get them if you're, already sort of in the hobby. Like, they're not worth upgrading to.
Alright.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, mate.
No worries, mate. Yeah, I wonder what happened there. It just dropped an arm.
I don't know.
Well, I hope that you guys broke some, so it's not, you can't just blame me all the time.
Let me actually just try rearming it again.
So do you want to arm weight in Tony's hand? That'd be
Huh?
perfect.
Yeah?
Do you want me to hold these goggles?
Yeah.
1 and 27 seconds.
Oh, dude, that's a nice antenna on the back of that, Tony. Where did you steal that from?
Did I steal it from you? Oh, here's your one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll give it back.
Oh, he acts so surprised. Oh, is that yours?
Yeah, it's yours. yeah, true that.
Dude, that's your pay for this year.
Yeah.
All right, some line of sight, Granger.
Granger, how's the drone? Is it amazing?
Yeah.
Do you want me to help you?
Oh, you're gonna break it.
Rightio, Jono, you're about to fly around with your little, what is that? That's
the
little
the
diatone?
349.
All right, so you got on your own drone, your own radio.
Yeah.
These are you heard what it is, the Eachine 800DM, whatever they are.
Yeah,
These bad boys.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's get these on properly. Get that screen in the right spot for starters.
Can I say, that's a beautiful jumper. Where did you get that from?
Oh, I stole it off some guy
FPV
earlier on
swag.
this morning. Swag. Yeah. Yeah. So, like for starters, I had the original pair of 800Ds.
Okay,
I did,
well,
so I
this'll
know
be
how
perfect.
these are compared to the
Okay.
original ones.
Yep.
In terms of how they sit on the face, I'm going to say they're probably about the same. The original 800s had a bit of a gap in the nose there. They did. Oh yeah, nice one, Granger. The original 800s had a bit of a gap in the nose. They did, so there's a fair bit of light leakage, and I'm getting the same thing out of these ones. The thing that really bothered me about the original 800Ds though is that instead of having a full pad all the way around, they had these big chunky like ball pads there that sat on your thing, so they could be quite uncomfortable. But once again, they were pretty good for the price. They were.
these
So
were about
they were a
80
good starter goggle The
Is your
original
DVR
one.
going? Sorry, is there a red?
No idea.
Let me have a look. Tell me if there's a red thing that comes up in the corner.
Yep, there you go. Now it's up.
A little red circle.
It's flashing.
Yep.
Is your OSD halfway up the screen? Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. Yep. So let's see if I can fly with these on. It's been a while since I used box goggles, so hey. Oh yeah, definitely different. So yeah, it's been a while since I used box goggles, so it's a little bit different. Last time I was using them, I think I was using a 16:9 set, so it was not squishing the image quite so much. I feel like this is really squishing the image out a fair bit. In terms of like the clarity on the screen, it's not too bad. I couldn't quite get it in focus for me, so
do you want me to extend it further?
yeah, you can give it a crack if you want. I'll tell you if it goes better or worse.
Hang on. I'll do it. Oh, yep, okay.
You ready? Yep. Do I just pull it?
Yep.
Oh god! No, that's actually you completely something.
Wait, you pushed the button.
You pushed the channel button.
You pushed the search button. Oh! You go get it. You go get it. Over there near that
What a
tree.
shame. Oh, hey, no, like to be honest, I think I flew enough to get an idea of it. Yeah, in my opinion, I don't know. I think I like the old 800Ds a little bit better. I think they had the wider format on the screen, and I'm used to that. All the box goggles I've ever had the wider format. I feel like this was squishing it in and it made it a little bit disorienting. Okay. Yeah.
Did you try the Nun goggles? Were you there when we tried
No,
those?
I didn't get to try the Nun, so I can't compare them to those. But
Okay.
compared to the originals, like, hey, I'd probably be happy with the originals, but also they're both pretty cheap. I don't see them really being a problem if you're just a starter. If you're starting up and you're just looking for a cheap goggle to get in the air, it's flyable and it's going to do fine. It is. You know me, I'm always looking for like budget stuff and things like that. So in terms of like price to performance, the reception on them was fine. They're flyable. They'll do the job.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, mate. Rightio, there it is. There's my review of the Eachine ev800DMs. And the first part I want to clarify is I do need to do some more testing with the DVR recording because I had an older SD card in here. And in the specs, it does mention like some of the new U10-3s or whatever they are, which is kind of crazy considering that it's just a DVR file, not a 4K file or anything like that. But overall, are they an improvement over the original 800Ds? And I'm going to say, well, I like the focal adjustments and all that sort of stuff, but I felt like the screen was smaller. Yes, the resolution's higher, but it was still very much for muchness. And I think if it was up to me, I would probably prefer the biggest 16:9 field of view because you've gone down to a 3-inch screen of this one instead of, I think it was the 4-inch on the originals. But a big one for me as well, they're about the same price, and this is really what I'd recommend to people. If you're going to be picking up a pair of those, have a serious consideration about this amazing pair of goggles right here. This is what I call the Nun goggles, but it's like the Hawkeye VR, and I'm going to put the link for this down below as well as the video review. You can go watch that. That'll be somewhere. These goggles are absolutely amazing. They're great. I think there's a white version out now, but it is an absolute sensational goggle that gives me 0 eye strain. You can still wear glasses, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you're looking to get a cheap pair of goggles, these are absolutely my #1 recommendations. The Hawkeye VRs, you cannot go wrong. You will love them. But overall, the ev800Ds, DMs I should say, a bit hit and miss. Something's good, something's bad, just an average pair of cheap goggles. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely subscribe for more FPV related content. A little bit of some bonus goofing around at the end of this video. So I don't know, share some love for the boys. We're sort of giving Granger a hard time. And as always, happy flying.
So a bit of a pro tip, when you're adjusting the goggle, don't turn the power off or the channel scan.
Just don't let Tony touch it.
Good advice, Tony.
Yeah.
Also too, Granger, I need a cup of tea, mate.
Cup of tea.
Yeah, so I got my thermos down there. There's a cup there, just English black. Thank you.
Yes, straight away, sir.
Thank you. You know, I don't need noodles yet. I don't need noodles yet, Jono. Settle down, chef.
It's like
There's my thermos.
trip for him.
Don't
Just
touch
out
it
for a
with your
couple
filthy
hours.
hands. We'll be good.
Do you want to help me, Tony?
No, you're
No,
the apprentice.
you're the apprentice.
Yeah,
You
and I
make
want
me my cup of
biscuits as
tea.
well.
I can't do this. Wait, what is
And
that?
then you got to go make
I've
Tony
never.
one too.
I don't drink coffee, so I've never made it.
Yeah, you know what? It's amazing, but that's not coffee, Granger.
Tea.
Oh,
You just put-
I know how to make tea. Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure you pick that bit of rubbish
Litter
up.
bug. Seriously.
I respect the environment.
Look at him. Look how good he is at opening a tea bag. Oh my God, that is the best tea bag opening I've ever seen. Oh,
I'm trying.
you need a hand here,
He's not
Granger?
used to tea bagging like that, are you?
No. Hold on.
Would you like me to take the rubbish off you? Alright, now I've done half the work. You don't get paid this week. Is this, are you actually doing this on purpose? Like, are you actually struggling? You're lucky I caught that.
Here, give it to me.
No.
I can do it myself.
Okay, I've got a toddler who can make tea better than this. That is also burning water. That's steaming, so please be careful. And if you hurt yourself, just in front of the camera. Do you want me to take this?
If you hurt
Yes,
yourself, go in
please.
front of the camera so we get some extra subscribes.
No, leave it in there.
Leave it?
in there, yeah.
Yeah.
You know you're right for one, getting him to make you a cup of tea.
There you are, sir.
Thank you.
No worries.
Radio out here in the field. Today we're checking out some English breakfast, a classic British tea with the boys. We'll see what Granger thinks and find out.
Only English breakfast. You've got no class.
What do you mean English breakfast?
Get some Earl Grey or something. Gee
No,
whiz.
lapsang souchong.
What does that mean?
No taste.
It's a type of tea. Lapsang souchong. Man,
mean,
you are
he's a tea
so
expert.
unrefined.
Am I
Just
gonna-
because McDonald's only do English breakfast
Speaking
tea.
of McDonald's, I bought some
yeah.
socks today, some
Yeah, yeah.
charity socks, Big Mac socks. Check them
Yeah,
out.
yeah, you are a burger boy.
Burger boy.
Are you going home?
I'm going to go to work.
Oh.
Some of us have work to do. Oh, hang on, you are working.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, all right, get out of here.
All right.
You've done everything anyway.
All right.
It's up to us boys to have some fun.
All right, bring it home then.
All right.
All right.
Catch
Thanks.
you
I'm
later.
stealing your antenna. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. It's all right, mate. Pity you got to go, man.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to do DJI up and down the river. Yeah, we're going to go have some fun now. So enjoy doing whatever labouring job you got to go do. Hey Tony, where you going? Man, that man's hands are so soft. He never even picked up a shovel, Mr. Office Manager.
You're not one to talk. Jesus Christ.